Many people know me as a business owner, but I'm also a mom, a single mom. And becoming a mother changed the way I view success, time, and what truly matters. But throughout the journey I wasn't a mom. I was all in. I had time, I had energy. Every hat that was at the school, it was me. I had my daughter in 2017, and that's when my mindset shifted. I'm a mom now. I'm a business owner now. I'm a single mom. This is going to be interesting. Even before me having my baby, there were days when I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I went to the point of talking to other people of who want to buy my business. This is so serious. On my job search, nothing came about. Okay, God. All right, I'm supposed to be here. Let's do it. Hello, and welcome to Just Like Angels podcast, where we have real conversations about parenting, family, and early childhood development. I'm your host, Janna Johnson, owner of Just Like Angels Childcare Center. This episode is a personal one. Many people know me as a business owner, but I'm also a mom, a single mom. And becoming a mother changed the way I view success, time, and what truly matters. Today, I'm sharing my journey of building a business before motherhood, what changed after becoming a mom, and how I've learned to balance both worlds along the way. If you're a mother trying to juggle family, work, and your dreams, this conversation is for you. So let's dive in. So as we know, Just Like Angels is turning 15 years old, which is a major accomplishment that I am thrilled about. But throughout the journey, I wasn't a mom. I was single, just, kind of figuring out life, figuring out things, and, starting a business from scratch. So I was all in. I had time, I had energy, I had patience. It was just me. So I did not have to worry about juggling the mom life, juggling the family life. It was just me. So I was teacher, I was director, I was, cook. When we got to driving vans, I was a van driver. Every hat that was at the school, it was me. I did everything. So I was in director mode all the time. I was in owner mode all the time. Rarely was I in parent mode because at the time I was not a parent. I had my daughter in 2017, and that's when my mindset shifted. I'm a mom now. I'm a business owner now. I'm a single mom. This is going to be interesting. So even during my pregnancy, I was still wearing all the hats. I was still directing. I was still the owner. I was out of the classroom at the time. But if I was needed in the kitchen, if I was needed here, I was still driving the van. I remember picking up kids 8 months pregnant. But I was okay with it. I was honestly okay with it. But I didn't know until after having my baby and literally having to sit down because I had a C-section and trusting my director to run the building without me for at least 6 weeks. I really started to understand I'm going to have to delegate. I'm going to have to trust, which was hard to do. I'm going to have to allow these people, my staff, to not figure things out, but figure things out without me per se, because I can't be there right now. So I can say it took a lot. I wanted to go to the school. I wanted to be there, but I needed to rest. I needed to tend to my newborn at the time, so I could not be at my school, which I had been there leading 2011 up until 2017. I was there. I was in the mix. I was running the school. I was making the rules, but now my life had definitely changed. So putting on my mommy hat, I can honestly say I started looking at things more from a parent perspective rather than an owner. But first, let's go back to before having a baby. my day-to-day was waking up early, being at the school 7:30 in the morning, opening, still having to deal with the stresses, I would say, of being a business owner, because us business owners know it is not easy owning a business. So it is stressful. It can be stressful. So in childcare, you're dealing with staff, you're dealing with parents, you're dealing with, children, of course. You're dealing with the state agency. So you're dealing with a lot. And again, it was me and my director, but I was still wearing all the hats. So every day was not easy. And even before me having my baby, there were days when I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. It's too much. I didn't have the right staff at the time. The parents were overwhelming. It was a bit much. And this was when we grew into our larger facility. Now, I went from 10 kids to 15 kids to 20 kids, 60, 70. And I'm like, this is too much. I don't want to do this. So I even went on job searches. I literally went out of town to Orlando on a job interview because I'm like, I'm done. I went to the point of talking to other people of who want to buy my business. This is so serious. And because it was a lot, and starting at a home daycare, you don't think about, the big picture. Honestly, I'm like, okay, I got a home daycare. At one point, I was actually looking for real estate property to buy me a house. I was going to work out of my home. I was going to be able to wake up in my house, in my bed, go in my front room, and open up my facility. Not knowing God had a bigger plan for me was, no, you're going to come over here and open this school. And, this is what we're going to do. So I did not want to quit, but I was stressed and overwhelmed some days because it felt like I could not piece it together. I could not get everything together. I could not get everybody together. It was the call outs. It was the people leaving. It was, just a lot of parents unhappy at the time. And I'm like, what is going on? Maybe this is just not for me. I'm super sweet, super nice, really laid back person. And I had to understand I had to take charge. I couldn't be the nice person. I really had to take charge of my business, but I was like, this is overwhelming. I don't want to do this anymore. So that's what led me to looking for other jobs. I was just over being overwhelmed. I was over being super tired. I was over being, the boss, the owner, the director, the cook, the cleaner. Stuff break, I got to take care of it. I don't have enough money in payroll this month to pay myself. Even at a larger facility, you're still dealing with all these things, and going to a larger facility, that's more money. That's more overhead. That's more liability insurance. We got a van now, so that's transportation. So we got to take care of all this stuff. I'm like, I'm tired of being broke. I'm not used to this. I won't be a check that comes every 2 weeks or once a week or whatever the case may be. I have 2 degrees at this point. I was actually finished my master's in 2012 before moving into our second location. So I'm good. I can go find me a job. But just the stress of owning a business and honestly not having a mentor or someone to guide you to say, these are things that's going to happen. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. Oh, that's definitely going to happen. I didn't have that. I'm just out here in these streets thugging it, right? But on my job search, nothing came about. And I'm like, okay, God. All right, I'm supposed to be here. Let's do it. So even though my business was still growing, I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy with the hardship of owning a business, if you understand what I'm saying. So that's what led me to wanting to find another job, just because I thought it would just be easier to just go back to my regular 8 to 5. I don't have to worry about overhead. I don't have to worry about people. I don't have to worry about this, and I don't have to worry about that. So fast forward to when I had my daughter, Noelle, who is 8 now. She was born in 2017. I can't say things definitely changed for me. I met her father in 2016. Don't judge. But I met him during homecoming at FAMU, and I was in the band Marching 100, and so was he. Even though we were years apart, we were introduced, and got into a relationship, got pregnant, and boom, there my baby was. It unfortunately didn't work out with us, so that led me to becoming a single mother. He was in Atlanta, and I was in Tallahassee, so things just did not work out. Of course, you know how you think or thought things would work out. So now I'm a single mom, going back to my business, and I'm like, ugh, do I really want to do this now that I have a baby? But in that situation, or while I'm at home, I'm like, oh, I can be home, and I can work from home and keep my baby at home, and things are still working. My director is now dealing with everything that's going on at the school and calling me if need be. And honestly, I was not full-time back into my school probably until about 6 months after she was born. And that's not because I did not want to go. I started looking at things in my program that I had to change from a parent perspective, not the owner. I'm in mommy mode right now. I wasn't happy with my teachers in my baby room at the time. I'm not taking my baby in there with those teachers in there. I'm not liking what's going on. I don't like what's going on in the classroom. Not anything bad, but I just wasn't liking what I'm seeing or hearing, I would say, from my director. Just call outs and, not really feeling like they want to be there, and just not what I wanted my baby to be around. So again, I'm in mommy mode right now. I need some new teachers in my baby room. And I honestly hired a nanny to watch my baby until I got people in the classroom that I wanted to be in there. My baby went to school at like 5 or 6 months. I was back, but I had a nanny at home because I didn't want her there. I needed to fix things. Not just in that classroom, but I'm looking at the other classrooms. Okay, the 1-year classroom, 2-year classroom, 3, 4 VPK. What do I need to fix? So I'm comfortable with my own child being in my school. And that's crazy that I didn't want my own child to go to my school. That's a problem, right? So those things had to be fixed before I brought my child back to my own program. Was the stress level still there? Absolutely. Now I'm adding being a mom, new mom, single mom, and still owning a business at the same time. First thing I did was delegate. I can't do all this. I can't give the school all of my time and all of my energy. I have to get that to my child now. So what do I have to do? My director put in place. I need this to work. For this to work, for this program to work, and me being a single mom, I need this to work. Of course, having a village, of course, behind me to help me not just run my business, but assist me with things at home, doctor's appointments, just the whole parenting thing. I needed a village that was absolutely amazing and allowing me to still operate my business and being able to not give 24 hours a day to my school. So I had to set boundaries. Some of those boundaries were my hours. I'm not available to you 24 hours. I had to cut that off 5 p.m. I'm done. If not before that. Learn how to say no. No to the staff. No to some of the parents. You cannot have access to me and even access to some of the teachers outside of business hours. Let them rest, let us rest. We need to be 100% when we come to school the next day. Again, delegate responsibilities. I had to do that. It was hard to do that because this is my baby, this is my school. But in order for me to be that mom to my newborn, I had to delegate those responsibilities. And of course, family time, I had to make sure, and again, I'm breastfeeding, so I had to make sure me and my baby had that time together to bond. As a newborn, I did not want to be an absent mom just because I owned a business. I didn't want to be that mom. I'm making sure this works for my daughter in case she wants to take over one day, in case she wants to be a business owner. I have to show her that she can't give up on her dreams, that she have to work through the hardship, so family time was definitely important. And of course, taking breaks when I need it. If I needed to be home, she's an infant, she gets sick, she has shots, she has doctor's appointments. So I had to make sure I took a break when I needed as well. And if that was staying home for the day, leaving work early, and if I needed some time to myself, leaving her at school, while I go get me a nap, while I go take me a break. Again, at that point where I trusted the teacher, the people that were in my program. So that was a big adjustment, but also it made my program better because I was mentally better, for myself, which made me better for my program. Now I'm in mommy mode and I'm in director mode. So when I have my staff meetings, I'm telling my staff, I'm looking at things from a parent perspective. Would I want my child there? Would I want my child in that classroom? Do I want that teacher to be my classroom? Do I think that's wrong with what you did? I'm looking at things from a parent perspective. I'm also looking at it from a director's perspective because I always tell my teachers, I'm going to have your back if you were right. But I'm also going to tell you when you're wrong. So I have two different lenses now that I think help develop my program and guide us to the 15-year, mark where we are now. Again, building a strong support system, my family, trusting my staff. Even at this point, I had other people that I was starting to mentor. So we would now work together. We would have group lunches. We would have group meetings. Hey, what are you doing at your centers? What are y'all doing over here? What are y'all doing? So I had a village of people that I was mentoring, but I was also helping myself as I was mentoring others as well. Again, that professional network, and that's what we, call ourselves. It was a group of ladies that we all were new business owners in childcare. So we needed each other. And again, my friends, of course, were huge support during this time. If I needed to vent, I'm going to vent to my friend. I needed a break. I need to talk about, not per se what happened at school, but just to vent and get some things, out as well. But also self-care. Self-care was what helped me through being a business owner, running a child care center, and also being a mom. I needed rest. I had a C-section. I had to rest. I had to get my body back, the hormonal phases. At one time, when my mom took me to a therapist, she was like, I just want to make sure you don't have postpartum. And I didn't have postpartum. I was just going through a breakup with the child's father and just, going through the emotions of a breakup. It wasn't postpartum, but she wanted to make sure. My mom was like, nope, let's go. We're going to go see a doctor. We're going to make sure you're good. She packed me and my baby up. I didn't even know she made the appointment. And I'm sitting there with the therapist like, what am I doing here? But that was a part of my village and making sure that I was okay as well. Getting back in the gym, I would take the baby, we would get in that stroller and we would go on a walk. Prayer, meditation, of course, praying, you're on a church, just mentally and emotionally, physically and spiritually making sure that I'm okay, because if I'm not okay, my school is not okay, my baby is not okay, and, that could lead to a downfall and my business not being where it should be or being able to get to 15 years. But to moms, I would say that would like to or interested in starting a childcare business or starting a business, know your why. Why do you want to do it? Why is it important to you to start a school? Is it to have a program for your own child? Because some people say, I don't trust centers. This is why I started my school, especially to those moms, those single moms who feel that I can't do this while I'm a mom, or this is too much while I'm a mom, or I don't have the time to do this because I'm a mom. You definitely can. And my baby, I would say, motivated me to keep going, to keep pushing. And as I look at it now, financially, I'm able to bless her with what she needs. I'm able to be there because I'm able to get away. I'm able to have my free time. So when the school calls, I'm there, no problem. Dance competitions, they're very expensive, by the way. I'm able to pay for it, and I'm there. And she now loves coming to the school. She said, I want to be a teacher. She said during the summertime, she has options. Do you want to go to summer camp, or do you want to come to Just Like Angels? She said, I want to go to Just Like Angels because I want to go to work. We even had an entire conversation about, well, how much are you going to pay me? Because I need to start making money because I'm going to own Just Like Angels one day. So the benefits of being able to be a role model for your child, and he or she sees you owning a business, and she'll tell anybody in a minute, my mom, she's a business owner. She owns Just Like Angels. She loves to say that. When she first went to school, left Just Like Angels to go to kindergarten, she said, I learned it at my mom's school. My mom has a school. So there are lovely benefits, and single moms can do it. Is it hard? Absolutely. But we can do it. I did it. 15 years. I did it. 8 of those years, I've been a single mom. You can absolutely do it. And I encourage you to do it. So thank you for joining me today for this episode. I hope my story reminds you that there's no perfect way to balance motherhood and business. Every journey is different, and sometimes the best we can do is give ourselves grace and keep moving forward. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to Just Like Angels podcast on all major podcast platforms. You can also learn more about us at www.justlikeangelscc.com and follow us on social media for parenting tips, childcare resources, and updates from our Just Like Angels family. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of Just Like Angels podcast.